Let me get set up here. What is going on, my beautiful people? Good morning to you guys here in the US of A. Good afternoon to you guys in the UK, and it's good to be here with this topic. I had some inspiration here. Normally, whenever I get hit with this inspiration, what I would do is I'll make either a short or I'll sit down and I'll record a video or I'll write a quote. But today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be here with you guys and just kind of express what I feel people should understand when it comes to relationships and being in relationships with people who have experienced previous traumas, who are kind of skeptical about love and about being in healthy relationships or relationships that are healthy because it scares them. In today's video, we're going to talk about not dismissing your needs. And I felt this inspiration because I think people get the wrong point of this YouTube channel. I think they get the wrong idea of what I'm trying to portray or what I'm trying to help coach you guys on in um, you know, the realm of attachment theory and in the realm of just life in general. I titled this video "Don't dismiss your needs," because it always leads to resentment, and it always does, because it becomes like a pressure cooker. You essentially compress everything that you want and you desire in order to please the other person, in order for them to not feel too overbeared, not to feel too smothered. And then what happens is you end up blowing up, aka protesting behaviors, and you eventually push them further away. But what you guys need to understand is it's okay to talk about your needs, to lay out healthy boundaries and healthy expectations for what you require in the relationship. I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea that you should be just constantly walking on eggshells to be with a certain person, because that's not what I'm trying to portray. This channel is mainly for education. Is to give you guys information about certain type of attachment styles, certain type of personality disorders and certain type of people that you'll eventually come across in life and most likely date, because the anxious and avoidant dynamic makes up probably over 50% of relationships. I mean, it's been a while since I looked at the study, but probably well over 50% of the relationships. And I think it's a lot. It has a lot to do with previous experiences in their relationships, um, just how traumatized we actually are, and how much we get desensitized to the things that we go through, and we just consider it. We have been through some. We survived. We don't really think about that person anymore. But um, those those ways of operating, it still sits in your core. It still sits in your way of operating. All right, so I got somebody that has some questions. Good to see everybody. Please like this feed if you guys are just coming in. I know it's early here in the US. I know you guys may be at work, but hopefully you can catch the replay. Hopefully you can find something valuable in today's message. And let's get some people in here helping and stimulating good discussion in here, because I think it's always valuable to get other people's perspectives and their ways of doing things. There are a lot of people lash out on the channel. Get the likes up for me if you will. A lot of people lash out in the comment section, and usually I just realize that them people are hurting. Them people are in the state where they're reactive. I mean, it was something that I did on my TikTok. I would just kind of sit and research how people show up on TikTok, because if you ever go there compared to YouTube, this YouTube community is very supportive. Everyone are here for a certain reason. Everyone are here that are going on some type of a journey together, whether you're in the beginning or if you're coming out of the end, because most people, once they don't need the content anymore, they kind of just move on with their life. But on TikTok, it's really interesting because it's like the Wild West, and people are just brutal in the comments, which is okay. Whatever you need to do to heal. But what I don't like is people coming in and making other people feel like they're broken or they're flawed because they can't get through their experience the same way that another person can. It's being, I guess, insensitive of their experience. So yeah, so I did a thing on TikTok where I gave some type of advice, and then someone was kind of lashed out and said, "Yeah, XYZ." And I came back 6 months later. I was like, "So how's that situation going?" And they were like, "Haha, she left me." Like, okay. And another lady came through, and she I think it might have been a year later. I came back and I said, "Hey, is everything okay with your relationship?" And she said, when I reached out, I was in a triggered state. I was very angry. I'm sorry. Your information is valuable. And then it just kind of shows that we can get reactive behind the keyboard, and we just kind of want someone to sit with us in our pain, or it's a knee jerk reaction when you see something that hits a pain point. Please get the likes up. All right. Hold on a second. Let me get to where I need to be here real quick. I'm going to answer your questions really soon. Just let me get to somewhere. All right, so we got 6 likes. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, please do me a favor and jump over to YouTube. Boost the analytics for me. Get more people in here. If you're in the UK, actually, let me know where you guys are at, so I know exactly, what times are best to do these live sessions. Because I get people saying that they miss the live sessions because it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning where they live, and over here it's perfect for us because after work it's kind of nice to have a little bit of community with the people here in the States. DC, all right. Actually, I'm gonna take notes and I'm gonna take down where everybody's from. We got DC in the house. Shanghai. It is 10:24. Good to see you. Thanks for being here with me. And I'm going to answer some questions. I promise I'm going to answer your question. I see it right here. I can't say your name because I don't speak the language. Phoenix. Hey, Selena. Poland, Indiana. This amazed me. This amazed me. I just posted like my origin story yesterday about where I came from 3 years ago. Car repoed, homeless, essentially homeless. Wasn't quite homeless, but if you think about it, yeah, I was kind of homeless. And I think about where I'm at today and the people that I talk to on a daily basis. Poland, Australia, Sweden. Where was one the other day? Oh, can't think of it. Oslo. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And God is good. All right, we're going to answer the questions now. Look, more people coming in, more likes. Connecticut, Alex. Good to meet you, Alex. Where'd you post your story? I posted it on my Facebook page. If you guys aren't on my Facebook page, it's Coach Court, and then I posted it on my Instagram too. I should have both of those links on my YouTube videos. So yeah, I talked about how I've been through a lot. Like you can see the pain in my eyes. I look at the old videos and I think about just how cringy those videos were, but I think about how much of a state of like just wanting to help people I was in. I didn't care. I didn't care what I looked like on camera. You can see I was scruffy. It was a bunch of different things that was, and I've gotten some brutal comments about my appearance during those times too. But when you're in a fight or flight state, when your heart's broken, when you're just trying to figure life out, that's where the grit comes from. That's where the gold is found. Like in my first book, I wrote, when you hit rock bottom, grab a pebble and put it in your pocket as a reminder to a place you'll never be again. Fortunately enough, I was able to, not have to be in that situation again. And then I think about just my mental state when I was going through a lot of the things that happened to me. I caused by my state of mind, by my unhealthy thinking, by my mindset. So we're going to talk more about not being dismissed. All right. Don't dismiss your own needs, because eventually it's going to come back around. You're going to start to feel um like second fiddle, like you don't matter. And essentially you teach people how to treat you. If you are someone that's not advocating for yourself, if you're someone that's not saying what you need in a relationship, you're not placing healthy boundaries, how is someone supposed to respect you? How is somebody supposed to respect what you or either even accommodate you? All right. So we got enough likes up in here, and we're gonna answer some questions right now. Good to see everybody. Happy Tuesday. All right. Why were you considered delusional? All right. So someone asked me a question about the origin story. So why was I considered delusional? Because I was coming out of a divorce, and I was talking about I was about to be a relationship coach. And the way that I knew I was being delusional is the way people closest to me started to react. And that's fine. I mean, I understand that when someone does something so radical or so unexpected, you kind of look. A lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs. Yeah, I work with so many entrepreneurs that are just like millionaires, and they have like two friends. They may have one, two, three friends. And the reason being is because what they had to do and who they had to become in order to get to the level of success they want to be at, they had to really isolate themselves and just focus and hunker down and focus on the mission at task. California. But I was considered delusional for that. And I understand. I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, sometimes I think about it too. Well, actually, no, since my mindset has shifted, um, I applaud people that are trying to do something that's out of the norm, that's going just way in the other direction, because I know how hard it is to make that decision to say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. It's hard. It's really hard, but it's possible. Thanks for the reminder. So true. We're all surviving. Been 2 years separated from my husband, but I'm always doing me on and off, but I know he still loves me. Every time we meet up is good for months. And that's what I'm saying. Like you need to advocate for yourself and not dismiss what you need in your life or what you need in order to feel loved. And most of the time, uh the people who are really traumatized and the people who aren't used to having healthy relationships, they're kind of oblivious. They don't really know that they're actually showing up a certain way, especially if there's someone who never had it modeled to them. They never had what a healthy relationship looks like or what a healthy relationship should look like. They don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. Stay strong, warriors. Love you, Coach Court. Always do. Love yourself first. Always. Now, here's what I love: the idea of loving yourself first. And this is where we're at in these times of dating. We kind of use that as a cop out to not do the hard work and to not be able to push through the hard times. When you say love yourself first, now I understand exactly what you mean. Love yourself first, which means don't get to the point where you become unhealthy mentally because you want to help someone else heal, or you want to be with someone throughout their pain and their misery. But I've seen so many times that um there's sometimes, well, so many times, yeah, all right, I'm gonna be straight. I'm not gonna politic this, all right. I've seen so many times where people stick around for someone, and they think that they're going to get some type of return on their investment, return on their time, return on all the things that they've done for that person, and it never happens. They end up let down, and they end up to a point where they've resented this person so much because they never reciprocated what they invested in them. That's a choice. And this is why I tell people when I coach them, I say, you have to come up, you have to make the choice on how long. Well, you have to ask yourself, how long am I going to be able to stick with this person and delay this gratification, if that makes sense? Give yourself a heavy time frame, strong and firm. This is when I'm going to be done, right? I'm going to give this thing 3 more months and then I'm going to be done. If it's not where I need it to be, if I'm not feeling fulfilled, if I'm not getting my needs met by this point, which I do believe that relationships are meant to go to give to help make the other person lives better. And, it's better to give or receive, all the cliche sayings. But there's a quote that I really love. And it goes, I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me. Right. So there's no point in me doing all these things for you, going and getting myself right mentally, healing my past traumas, rewriting my narrative and my story, if you're not going to do the same. If, when I eat, you don't digest. So, sorry, I got to keep up with these comments. I get it. I just started this YouTube channel where I make videos about making money and about Warren Buffett. And my close people are not too supportive as well. Yeah, it takes, I don't know if you guys are religious or spiritual or anything, but it's like Jesus said in the Bible, you're gonna have to pick up your cross and get rid of all your worldly possessions. You're gonna have to leave. And essentially what that means to me is like you're gonna have to let the old person die, the old persona that you were holding on to in order to go into the direction that you're really being called in. And that's okay. Right? It's okay to do that. And it's the same with relationships too. There's gonna be people who view you some type of way for leaving a situation that is not benefiting you and isn't going to be leading to anywhere. They're going to be thinking, that's kind of messed up how so-and-so did so-and-so. But what about you? What about your mental health? What about your feelings of fulfillment in a relationship? Right? Wanted to have a big YouTube channel since I was 10. I'm 22, always too anxious to continue after a month or two starting things. You have to let go of what people think of you. And can you please make more in-depth videos about reaching out after no contact? I got that right here on my whiteboard, actually. Scripts. I know people want scripts on what to say when breaking no contact. And that's why I really love having sessions, because I like to sit there with you walk through your relationship with you and let you know if it's even worth breaking no contact. I don't like wasting people's time, and I don't like when people waste their time, because you don't get it back, right? We talk about this all the time. You don't get time back. It's non-refundable, it's non-negotiable. You don't get an instant rebate on your time. It's just gone. You can make money back. You can even make friends back, but you don't get that time back. So is it the right decision for you? We don't know. Perth, Australia, California, Connecticut. Did we already talk about that? All right. So what's another question here? So when I first started, I used to run these live sessions on Facebook, and I called them Coffee with Court, where like just my closest friends I'd pick a topic every day and we talk about personal development stuff, relationships, just life in general. Anything that I had learned in college, I would just go on there and talk about certain topics. But hey, Samantha, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. My ex started cheating on me like 3 months ago, but left me only a month ago. So 2 months ago, it cheating. She is in love with him now. I'm devastated, but don't know what to do. That's um that's a very common thing. I promise you, you're not alone on that one. The question you have to ask yourself is, what did I miss in the end? And not trying to take any of the blame off of her, because I think it is unhealthy. I think it is a pretty terrible thing to leave someone for someone else. But what did you miss in the end? What are the red flags that you missed? And how long do you think she had been checked out? Because if you were together for, let's say you were together for a couple of years, and you can feel her checking out, the last 6 months of the relationship, you may have even had a trial breakup, as one point in the relationship, which usually I believe if you have a trial breakup, you probably should never go back to that person, because it's usually an indication that something's really off, and it's just incompatibilities, and it's your intuition telling you that it's not going to be a healthy relationship. DA male and AP female. Yeah, I got that video. Pretty sure I have that on my channel already. An AP female. Yeah, that's a pretty common one that I have too when I work with people. Um, this channel dynamics is crazy. I don't think there's a lot of other channels that has such, as far as relationship health and personal development, that have like an equal split of people down the middle. Usually people go heavy in, coaching for women, or go heavy in coaching for men. But I think this is just remarkable at how this channel has been so balanced, and it's helped me a better, more well-rounded coach, being a more well-rounded coach, because I'm able to see both sides of the coin. I think about the book by, I think it's Dr. John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I love that book, and I read it multiple times, because it's important to understand both sides, and don't go heavy on just one side, because I think it'll make you a more balanced person. This is why I study certain religions too, because it's all about balance, keeping that balance and maintaining it. Any advice? Maybe it's done, but I want to get her back. How long were you guys together? Oh, 5 years. Well, Alex, I'm going to tell you that you're probably going to have to wrap that one up, right? Um, so if I have to think about, this little notepad, these multiple notepads I have here about the relationships that did have a chance of reconciling, it was usually a relationship that was shorter, and you have um, decided, hey, breaking up was a bad idea. Maybe I was just kind of offbeat. Maybe I read this person wrong. Those relationships can sometimes be reconciled. But if it's a longer relationship where you've been through so much, and they don't see the relationship going anywhere, they have complained about certain issues, and you never changed, or you never even tried to make improvements, they get to the point where they just say, you know what, I'm not going to give this person any more time. And that's the hardest thing to do, because once you get to 5 years, that's when you get to the point where you start to feel like your family know their family. It's an enmeshment going on. Like, you really feel, your friends are their friends, and all those other things that come along with being in long relationships. So it feels like someone is going to, they're essentially dying in your. Can I say that on YouTube? Hope so. Hey, Amy. Good morning. Any more questions? Once again, thank you guys for being there. Oh, okay. So also this coaching group is about to be out. All right. I'm going to start in November. Got the website, got the format laid out. November. And I wanted to start it in my birthday month too, because it's kind of cool. So we're going to start the coaching group. It's going to be bi-weekly, so twice a month. I want you guys to send me emails to pre-sign up, right? Because I want to be able to have you guys pre-register so I know what the number count and the head count is going to be. But so I'm excited about it. I stand no chance. So I'm not a what do they call them? Psychic. I can't predict the future. But if I had to base it against, the percentage of the relationships I've seen work out after such a long time being together, and a breakup happens like that where they just find someone else and they move on, I would say that it's probably no chance. 20% chance that it's going to work out. But that's just a real high level analysis here. I apologize if, that's not what you wanted to hear. But like I said, I'm all about helping people kind of decipher where they want to put their time and what they're gonna. Because you can go date other people now. You can go start a business now. You can go hit the weight room more. You can do whatever you want now. Essentially, you're untethered, and that's important. It's important to be able to. Okay, so when you think about business, they're always trying to figure out where to put their money, where to put their time. Because what they say, time is money. They want to know where to put their efforts, and if it's fruitless. If you were to get into investment and you just kept throwing money, right now this is probably a good analogy because it's kind of tough to get a read on what's going to be profitable. You're just dumping resources and time researching into certain stocks that they're just going to fail. They're going to take you to the poorhouse. And you have to look at your life that way too. If you think about your life being ran like a business, you're going to only do the things that you feel is productive and is worth doing. I'm not saying you just quickly discard people, but at the end of the day, there's going to be one name on that tombstone, and it's going to be yours. It's not going to be you and someone else, and you and this other person. It's going to be just you. So essentially, you want to make your time here on earth as fruitful as possible. I don't know how old you are, but I think age definitely should play a part in it too. My 20s, I was married for all my 20s, and I don't regret it because I got to focus on my first business. But 27, but I think about all the other kids or the other people because dating myself, the people that are in their 20s. There are things that you really should be focusing on that's going to lay the foundation for the rest of your life. You know, I was with my ex for about 9 months. She dumped me out of the blue. I am an AP. She is a DA or FA. I moved to her city, and a month later, she dumped me. She said I'm unstable with my goals and my faith. So, literally, what I just talked about, you should be doing the things to lay out your foundation. Okay, so attachment style unrelated. By and large, I've seen that people just don't want to be with an energy or a person that they can't trust. Like essentially, if you're getting into a relationship with someone, you're thinking, all right, future, long term, I can trust this person. I feel safe with this person financially, spiritually, emotionally. And if you're not able to consistently provide that reassurance or provide that safety, I don't care what attachment style you are. If you're an anxious, you may have like a bunch of red flags, but you probably ignore them. But if you're someone who's even secure, after a while, you're going to say, all right, I'm starting to see what this person is made of. I'm trying to see what type of cloth they're cut from. And it doesn't feel safe for me. It doesn't feel like I want to, have kids with this person. So, because you never know, when you're in a relationship, sometimes one might slip through the goalie and you got a kid. So that's the type of energy that they can't trust. And that's when they'll start to think about finding someone else who can have that stability, that will have that stability and that reassurance that we're essentially all looking for. We want consistency and we want security. I mean, let's just be honest. I used to think that was just a woman's quality that they wanted, or that was like their main driver. But for men too, we want consistency and we want safety, security, loyalty, and that I can be happy on my own and she can't meet my needs. But a day before she said she loved, and a week before we were on vacation in Norway, and we're talking about marriage and kids. Whew, there's so much to unpack there. And I got to prepare for this 10 o'clock I have. But I love all you guys. I want to thank you for always being here and supporting me. Thank you for having coffee with Court today. I also want to keep doing that live session where I get people on here and just, kind of give them some free coaching, because it's what I enjoy doing. And that's the whole point in this community. And I know there's a ton of other coaches you could be watching, and you decided to watch my broadcast today. Go have a good day at work. Love y'all. If you're just getting home from work in the UK, go ahead and unwind. And always remember, I want you to always remember this. Coffee getting to me now. Always remember this. When you go be love, you'll never have to find it. Namaste.